as well as obviously the effects it has to the people that don't want to take part. As a society, I don't see why you'd want to do it for the name it gives your society as a whole. But the main part of my campaign is to make sure everyone feels welcome in the SU, in the team, and anyone can feel like they can take part in anything.
Helen?
Yeah, I do agree with the boys. I'm not going to lie, I see the general appeal of welcoming new freshers into your team, but I obviously agree there are limits and you need to respect people's boundaries. I also think people need to consent to what they're comfortable with, and obviously safety is so important. And like I said, I feel like I am a very approachable individual who is going to understand and support that people do not want to do that, and I don't think we should condemn initiations. I don't think so.
Okay, your next question will go in the opposite order this time. Volunteering and extracurricular engagement outside of sports and societies is also a key part of your role. What will you do to promote and provide additional volunteering opportunities to our members?
So obviously there's a compulsory module, I think, across all courses. I'm not entirely sure, but I took that in second year. And I think it's so important to volunteer and to promote volunteering, because I remember the email we got from you a couple of years ago where the locals weren't very happy with us, when in actual fact we are doing so much as a uni to support the community and represent the uni really, really well. So I think promoting that module is a really good idea. I think as teams as well, getting out fundraising like Charlie said, really showing our face in the wider community of Winchester as just being, as a union, just being really beneficial and not just
Bradley?
Yeah, so once again, I agree with what's been already said. I think it's really important for us to use our platform that we get as these roles, whether it be captain of teams and leading societies, to give back to everyone else. So building the bond with the council, with local businesses, things like that. I know some teams take part in helping with the half marathon. A lot of things like that. It's just really good for us, really good for the university and the image it portrays of us as a whole.
And Charlie?
Yeah, obviously I agree with what they said as well. But like I said, in my manifesto I've talked about giving incentives to teams and societies for getting involved in charity work, volunteering. Because it doesn't just look good to the team, it looks good as a union as a whole, that we are giving back to the community. And like Ellen said, we've had a lot of bad stick from people in Stanmore or just Winchester in general about behaviour and stuff like that, but it looks good as a union and as a university when our students are getting involved and stuff like that. So that's why I want to encourage and put in place incentives, just so, not as in a bribe or anything like that, but just to get people more involved and sort of bring a university together.
Perfect. Now, Oliver, to the room for any questions. We'll be starting with Bradley for the first question, working our way along. Do we have any questions from the room? Please.
Representing identities and different minority groups within our student body, for those societies who have to go under the liberation, how would you help them promote their voice within the student union? How would you allow them to have their opinion on their rights and diversity of the student union?
So how would you support our liberation societies, ensuring that their members have a voice that is respected and they have the right to autonomy in speaking up for their own rights?
So a lot of a big part of my campaign is giving all societies and sport teams the same voice, the same platform. So just the idea of promoting everyone, promoting all sorts of societies, just allowing everyone to have that voice. I understand that it can look sometimes that sport teams sort of dominate the uni itself and the society sport team sort of image, but I just want to work at maybe. I've got the ideas of having a sport team board, sport society board, everyone being able to put their ideas up. Just making sure that everyone at least gets the chance and platform to get their point and views across.
Charlie?
Very similar to what Bradley said, but obviously my methods is obviously wanting to encourage more societies to speak up as well. It's nice that we're not just sports union, we're societies as well, like many of our societies, like busking, from drumming. We've got so much variety, and it's not. It should be. We should have like equality around the uniqueness, so like everyone should have their voice. So even if that is meetings and stuff like regular meetings with captains, chairs of societies, getting them all into a room together like this, like we've got the space for it. And if people feel uncomfortable or feel like they want their voice to be heard, then they should be given that option to. So if I was elected, I'll give that opportunity to them.
Helen?
Thank you. Like I said, I'm all for an inclusive SU and treating societies, teams, individuals with the fairest level of support, appreciation, because that's what everyone deserves. And I think Lucy made a good point about mixers and getting committee members from all the societies, liberation societies, sports teams, getting everyone mixing, getting to know each other, promoting themselves to each other, and then my societies in the spotlight kind of ideas through social media, dedicating a week chunks to whoever wants it in the SU, through student union social media to promote themselves, to celebrate themselves, answer any questions, just really get themselves out there and get what they're about known to the rest of the SU and the uni.
Could you repeat that? Okay, do we have any other questions from the room? Out there?
Like, as a sports team, I know like there are emphasis on training for events like Bob, but I know there is also more people now that want to do social events. And I just wondering if there are any specifically that you can do or promote to include more social events in society.
So sports teams can often focus on drinking events. What will you do to promote or encourage less drinking-based events that sober people can take part in, starting with Bradley?
So one of the main things I wanted to look at doing is bringing in a almost come and try it sort of scheme. So you set up as a team almost a workshop for other teams to come and try your sport. Okay, it's an event that can go on for a week. Everyone gets a chance to try a different sport. And I would also like to bring in a semester 1 varsity as well as the end of year varsity. I feel like it shouldn't be something we just said do at the end of the year. Okay, we could then start up a varsity with another completely different university to choose to start, as we're going to do at the moment, and just promote more and more sport through that way.
Helen?
Yeah, I mean, we do loads of things as a society sober. We train sober, we do all our charity our social sectors and our mixed captains make sure we do trips really regularly, alcohol free. You don't have to drink at bar. We don't, it's not a requirement that you have to drink to be on a sports team, and we do have quite a lot of fun without it. But I think it's just getting rid of the idea that we are all about drinking, because we're not, we're just not, but we do like it, but you don't have to drink, that's fine.
And Charlie?
So you don't need to be a part of a sport, you don't have to drink to be part of a sports society, like being in charge of rounders. We've got loads of members who don't drink and still come to Bob and stuff like that, but obviously we try to do as a team, we try to promote activities outside of the sport, like we did the quiz night, we might do trips to town and stuff like that. We try and engage as a group. So society, if elected, I would encourage captains and vice captains to speak to the social sector or just organise team events that are outside the SU as well. But it's just about encouraging the captains to do that. Like we've come down and played, or we've had women's hockey come and play us, about building relationships, and that was sober as well. It's just about reducing that pressure and just encouraging captains to let teams know that they don't have to drink that all the time.
Okay, and to the final two questions. Cost barriers are clearly a barrier to participation. This year, the union took steps to remove SA numbers as an obvious previous cost barrier. What do you currently believe is the biggest remaining cost barrier to participation, and what will you do about it? Helen?
I think something that we've struggled with is tour, and I know it's not about being on the team, but people do struggle being able to fund tour. And in my social sector year, I know that we worked for O'Neill's. We had a sponsorship with O'Neill's. The team takes the sponsorship money, but I feel like some of the money that you earn as a society should go to benefiting the actual members of the society socially as well as just playing. So that would reduce that barrier. But yeah, I'm not sure about playing. I mean, don't be as good as first team when you're a second and it's cheaper, but I don't know.
Charlie?
I think I think one of the biggest put-offs to joining the society, joining the sports society, is kit. We have a lot of societies that are trying to develop, but their kit is very expensive and they can't progress any further. So if elected, obviously try to reduce that cost barrier. Obviously businesses have to make money, it's the way it works, but especially if you've got a larger team, you can do large orders, and if you work well with them, they'll work with you. You give something, they give something back. So obviously one of my main aims is to increase funding for the SU. I want to bring in more. We have to take more funding which should be distributed to specifically teams who are developing. Obviously, as Catherine, they have to do action and budget plans. If a captain gave me a good action plan and gave me a good list of what they wanted, I may be more inclined to give them the money they need if I see that they can do it. But it's all about development.
Bradley?
Yeah, so I agree with what both of these guys have said, but for me, I think the biggest issue with payment when it comes to teams and stuff like that is subs. Something basketball done this year that we haven't done in years before is we split the subs between 2 semesters. So we pay 35 for the first semester, 35 for the second. I think that's just a nicer way of enticing people in, so it's not the big, what's that, £70 up front right at the start of the year, and you never see that money again. £35 I think is a much more reasonable price to ask for someone than carrying it over and the same thing in the next semester.
That's a really good shout.
Perfect. And our last question. Beyond cost barriers, what other barriers do you believe exist that stop others participating in union activities? And what will you do as the Vice President of Activities to ensure everybody feels able to take part? Starting with Charlie.
I think it is it's about approaching, going to tasting sessions. I think it's one of the barriers, is that, especially the freshers, it's about going to a group of people who know and build friendships and actually trying to engage and stuff. So as a SU and as obviously Vice President of Activities, I would just encourage people, especially the seniors of teams, to just chat to freshers, not hang around their friendship groups, just go and engage with the freshers, make them feel welcome, like just have a buddying kind of system within teams, and try and push teams and also societies, because obviously we know it's joining other societies as well, but just push for like a buddying system just to make them feel welcome.
Ellen?
Yeah, I think I can be quite a good advocate for this, because my intention was to never join a sports team. I never played sport, wasn't very good at it, and then I just completely threw myself into it in Freshers Year, and I think that's just what you have to, Freshers Week, and I think that's just what you have to encourage everyone to do as soon as they get here. It does not matter if you're not very good. You might not ever make captain like these two, but yeah, I think just not promoting it. I mean, we do a really good job of saying social members, you can be a newbie, it doesn't matter. But it's just about getting involved, whatever the uni are offering us. I think it's so essential that we just not force, but really push getting involved, because it will make your time here and they won't regret joining a sports team, I hope.
And Bradley?
I think pushing the idea that teams also have social teams, as well as a Bucks team and a really competitive team, that you can still play for a team, you can play within each other, organise friendlies. It hasn't got to be the pressure of, I'm going to play for a university team. It's going to affect where they are in the league if I don't play well. Everyone in training is going to be top class. But bringing to light that we have got social members at basketball, we've got social members that come down for our training, and just make them feel as welcome as possible and make sure that they know they can still train with us and take part.
Perfect. Thank you, candidates. We are just working out the time for your closing remarks. Sorry, could you repeat the second one? Charlie, you have 1 minute. Bradley and Ellen, you have 1 minute 30. So we will start with Ellen, please.
Thank you for listening. Please read my manifesto, our manifestos, give them a read. And someone posted my Facebook post yesterday saying that she's been in love with the SU since Freshers Week in first year, and I definitely agree with that. I was never good at my sport enough to be captain like these boys, so I get why, you might want to vote for me. If you don't, it's so fine. Put me as your second or whatever. But yeah, please vote for me. My heart and soul's in the SU, it honestly is. Thank you.
Bradley?
Yeah, just thank you for everyone who's obviously come in today and was listening to everything I've had to say and had a interest in my campaign. I'm going to be around for the next 2 or 3 days of the week, campaigning out on campus, posting stuff on Facebook. So just keep an eye out for it. Take the time to read my manifesto, and hopefully I can secure your vote.
And Charlie?
Thank you all for coming and thank you all for listening. Like the other two said, have a look at my manifesto. I am so dedicated to making Winchester one of the best unis. I think we have so much potential, and I just want to promote and develop sports and societies and just make Winchester great again.
Thank you, candidates. Please give it up to all the vice presidents. Okay, so we'll be moving on to the presidential candidates. Again, we'll be back to the 2-minute speeches, so please can I welcome Danny Cancel.
Thank you. Hi, my name's Danny, and I'm running to be your next Student Union President. I'm the current Communications Officer and was Entertainments Officer in the year before that. I think it's fair to say I understand how the Student Union works and how to get things done. I was very involved in making Summer Ball bigger last year when, as Entertainments Officer, I encouraged decision makers to book Scouting for Girls, which is still one of my favourite achievements as a Student Union Officer to date. I am a change maker. I can get things done for your benefit, and I will make sure that you have the best time that you can have at university as possible. With my manifesto, I've split it into 4 areas: your money, your support, your enjoyment, and your well-being. Firstly, Winchester is expensive. To help with this, I will ensure the Student Union raises awareness of what a good rent deal is, with the introduction of a rent calculator, which would tell students whether or not the house they are looking at is worth the money. I will also work with Stagecoach to introduce routes useful for students, as well as introducing a student bus pass in order to help with costs. Secondly, I want to talk about your studies. Firstly, let's continue the work of the current Student Union team and end 40% instant penalties. As submissions are now done online, I also want to cap the number of assignments in one day down to 1. Finally, the university did a survey in the last 2 years about lecture start times. I'm led to believe it was an inconclusive between 9 and 10 AM starts. Some lecturers tell students not to turn up until 9:30 or 10 AM if they have a lecture booked at 9 AM. 9 AM attendances are the worst among any other lectures, and studies have shown the average age of university students works better later on in the day. And the survey wouldn't have happened if it were not possible, so I want to make it a reality. When it comes to your enjoyment, I want to make sure sports and societies are shouted about, as well as SU events bigger and better than before, and your well-being is also very important to me, so I will ensure that you are supported as much as I can through an instant messaging service on our website via Nightline, and with 3 sanitary products campus-wide. I will also introduce free STI tests and increased consent awareness campaigns we are already doing. More details on my social media, but thank you for your time.
Time, candidates. And please can I welcome the other candidate, Megan Ball.
Hi, I'm Megan and I'm running to be this year's Student Union President. I've compiled ambitious manifesto split into 3 sections: speak up, speak out, and speak for. And it's important that the promises that I make during this campaign are realistic and achievable, and I can make them when I end up in office. Speak up concerns accountability and transparency, ensuring that the uni can always answer for their actions and their growth. Within this section, I include more study space for silent, not social study areas. Consequences for late or delayed feedback, because we're capped at 40 if we hand in work late, so why aren't academics held accountable? And ensure that the uni always gives the student union the time it deserves, because at the end of the day, we are their customers. Speak out concerns communication, which I think needs a great deal of work. Winchester students sometimes get bad press for no good reason other than being students. I want to be involved with the Winchester Council and the Mayor's office to ensure that we can fairly represent our students. I also want to improve welfare because it's not a 9-to-5 job and it needs to be quick and simple and an easy process. I also want to improve our charitable profile as a whole, not just push it on sports and societies. Speak for shows my drive to build a great student experience for all. I want to include wireless charging in the SU and the library, free sanitary products campus-wide, not just in this building, and secure the safety bus.